Hello everybody, this is Chaff Commander Coffee back with another episode of Dominions4 Thrones of Ascension RandomNationGen. Now, I'm really in the mood to carry on this campaign. We're midway through the invasion and we have our first siege assault. So, let's not waste any time and get straight into the turn. We did manage to research Thaumaturgy 4, so we have no particular research priorities. I can choose to research whatever I want. Now, enchantment for Flaming Arrows and Terracotta Army would be really good. Not against the Syrians, but for future wars, very, very good. However, in preparation for future wars, we're going to want more powerful wizards. So we're going to go to Construction 6, which will allow us to 100% sure build Boots of Youth. I'm fairly sure we'll be able to at Construction 6. Again, I think that's a Magic Enhanced change. They made them from Construction 4 to Construction 6. But again, I don't play Blood Nations very often, so if Boots of Youth are Blood 6, then, or Construction 6, then fair dues. We will get them, and then we'll be able to get the stronger wizards. So we cast Bowl of Blood a lot to look for blood sites, and we cast Augury twice, and we found nothing. Nope. We did our Lion Tribe Witch Doctor found a Forest of Delights in the Forest of Gila. Now this might be another unrest-inducing. Oh no, he found it in. Yeah, he did find it in the. I'm confused. Okay. I see. Yes. Okay, this is going to be a little confusing, right? He's not actually in this province, and there's probably a reason for that. The Forest of Delights provides 2 nature gems per turn, which is brilliant. I can't believe a level 1 nature mage actually found that. That seems like a nature 2 site, surely. But hey ho, level 1 nature mage managed to find it. So, that's good. 2 more nature gems in the bank. 5 per month. That's a brilliant income given we have no natural access to nature magic. So, back to the messages. Yeah, there's a reason that he's not there, and I think it's because there was a battle there or something. And I have got my site searches set to retreat, so yes. We captured a total of 55, 57 blood slaves. I think that's 57. So Duvan, 20 unrest. I'm going to have them back to research. Mexico is still fine to blood hunt. Still fine. In fact, we have quite this. We have this decent 55-man force patrolling. So I'm going to actually add another person to their blood hunting group. Just to farm Mexico a bit more for its blood slaves. It's a capital province, so it has a very, very high population, so I should make use of that. And we captured 25 in Saltnoham, but the unrest is quite high now, so I'm going to be turning these ones onto research now, whilst we deal with that. Barbarian is still training in the capital for the future deathmatch. I am going to need another commander here. Things to consider. Right. An unexpected event happened in the Forest of Gila. An entire village has been devoured by vine men that are now spreading over the rest of the province. I think this is why the battle occurred. Some vine men. The Forest of Gila is a very tumultuous province. A lot of strange things happen there. There's devils and vine men eating people and all sorts. Not good. An unexpected event has occurred in Menace. Another broken mirror for some more air gems. Slightly smaller mirrors, slightly less air gems. Still, 7 years bad luck. 7 years bad luck. Is that worth it for air gems? I think in a magical fantasy universe, 7 years bad luck is actually terrible. You should not want that. You should definitely not want that. We're going to look at the battle in the Forest of Gila. I think it's just some vine men. Maybe a woodhenge druid? Yeah, there's a woodhenge. Oh, there's vine ogres as well. Well, I do have quite a lot of province defense here due to the unrest value. I was trying to reduce it originally, but now that I know it's because of the Den of Devils, I don't think I even want to try. Now, I would be worried, but Wolf Tribe, they do have very low morale. But they do have 2 attacks, so they might be able to just kill these Vine Ogres who have terrible defense skill. They might just hit all of their attacks. Yeah, as you can see, they're chopping them to bits. They hit nearly all of their attacks. And the Vine Ogres are tough, but they only have 2 attacks, and their attack skill's not great. So I think we might be alright. Wolf Tribe in this case are actually pretty good. I think normally you wouldn't want the Wolf Tribe, but in this particular case the Wolf Tribe are actually pretty exceptional at killing Vine Men. Since Vine Men are very weakly armed and armoured. Are they pierce resistant? Oh, they are pierce resistant, which is annoying because they use daggers, but what can you do? The extra attacks is useful versus their low defense skill. So I'm just going to speed this up. I hope we win. Vine Men have no morale, as far as I'm aware. Oh, the Woodhenge Druid did run away though, and then they started to disappear. So that's why my commanders weren't in that province after searching it. It's because they ran away. I have them set to retreat in case things like that do happen, so they don't die. And one of my scouts was caught here, but they didn't attack Menace. They did not do that. So we're going to attack them. We are going to attack them. I hope it's not too risky of me, but we do have a dragon and a huge army of sacred goblins, so I think we should be okay. And I may set Solve to cast some different spells. Prison of Fire is very useful against the undead though, I think. Now Exhaustion is only useful if it hits the slaves. If it hits the undead it will do nothing. So I won't have him cast that. At least Prison of Fire should hit everything. And have Solve in front of the archers as well. Just so that he takes hits before them. So, the most important event. The battle at the Fortress of Belmar. Now, I do need to check whether my sacred units are getting... I don't think they'll get Strength of Spring. They are getting Strength of Spring, so it did read the fact that I was launching the attack in late spring, and so that resolved before the season turned over. So that is useful for me to know. Now the only reason I decided to actually attack is because A, I got the mercenary company, so I can use them as a fodder company. See, as you can see, that all of these Vati spearmen that I managed to get as mercenaries, I'm just running them into the castle. They're just going to try and attack as soon as possible and draw as much evocation away from my main army as they can, which they seem to be doing quite effectively. Although I expect them to rout quite quickly because, yes, I heard a woman die. Was that my archers managing to kill? I don't know. I'm not sure. Now, none of my commanders have died yet, which is good. The Vati should be able to clean up these human slave infantry with no problem. Yeah, this seems to be a pretty easy fight. I'm just worried that their towers will kill more of my men than I would like. Yeah, the Vati have begun to rout, but my archers picked off their last few wizards. And so yeah, they didn't actually have very much of a force defending here. My High Priestess got killed, that's what it was. That was the what I heard. I don't actually know where she went, but... Now, the Vati's retreating is kind of annoying, so I think it means I need to go pick them up now. I don't think they... Did they retreat into here? No? I mean, they're mercenaries, so yeah, I don't think they can actually retreat. They just go straight back to the commander, so we will use them again. So, Belmar was actually very easy to take. I think Syria might be the only place where they have a significant force. So, let's carry on with the turn. We have lots to do. Belmar, I'm going to increase its defense to 10, just to start reducing the unrest. I'm going to have the army move straight to Kola Magor. Now, if their Cyclops decides to move to Kola Magor to go into the mines to pick up some reinforcements, then we will catch him. Hopefully, we'll be able to beat him with this force. Hopefully. Attack, almost. He's on the flank. And I think I actually might just move my army. I'm going to move all of these Sacreds back, because I find they engage too soon, and I want the Lumber Construct to engage. I want him to get in the way. I'm not going to have him hold, I'm going to have him cast. What can he cast? I think he won't cast anything. I'm just going to have him get stuck in. Try and attack their Cyclops as soon as possible. Get a poison hit on him, and maybe that will just kill him. Maybe that will win us the fight. So, if the Cyclops ends up moving into Kola Magor, if Archophylos decides to move here, we might kill him, which would be good. Mechanical men. Now they're summoned. I'm sure they're summoned. So I don't know what they're doing there, but we'll get rid of them. Just set these men to attack, put them at the front, and Ascalapos. You just take Swinland. You might die, because the Cyclops may go here instead. If the Cyclops decides to go to Numecria, that's going to be somewhat annoying, but not too much, really. I'm going to have these two wizards actually just move to Nom and just start researching, because I've got my site searching going now, so I don't think I need them to carry on site searching manually. We've almost site searched all my provinces for blood magic, I think. So I'm going to also move these two to Brightgate, and they're just going to start researching as well. Maybe do some forging. I can get these level 1 Lion Tribe. In fact, I've got this Lion Tribe guy over here. He's going to forge me a bag of endless wine, because they're useful, and I should have a lot of them lying around for campaigns in the future. I need this army to... You need to start patrolling, I think, because I moved the other patrolling army out. You two came back for slaves. So take some slaves. Take many, many blood slaves. Can you take any gear? For any gear you can take? Flame helmets. Nah, just go back. Just go back. And since they are actually already scripted to be in this sort of formation, the slaves will just appear around the Sabbath, so it should be no problem. This commander was picking up a bunch of random units and going to go to Syria. And I'll just set them on hold and attack for now, because, yeah, I don't know what else to do with them. We'll worry about that later. You need to head back and grab all of these men. They can be set to hold and attack as well. And you need to grab all of these men, and the same thing. I'm just reconsolidating the army after some of them routed, and then we will be able to probably start breaking down the walls of Syria. Hopefully we can manage that. Now the treasury is still looking rather low. I'm not quite sure where all the gold is going, but I know where it's going this turn, and I think it's to deal with this. There seems to be a three-way standoff here. But I have a castle, so I think they won't... I don't think they'll attack here. I don't think they will, but just in case. We've got these 10 skirmishers to go with this patrol force. I'm not going to have him patrol, though. He's going to wait inside the castle, because if they do decide to attack, that's going to be really, 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 really bad. However, if they do decide to attack, I want one of these high-level wizards here, so that he can lead a communion and possibly cast some strong fire magic, or just cast fanaticism multiple times over my army so that it doesn't rout. And I think I'll also spend the last of the gold. You could probably do with a command boost, actually. So I'm going to train a unit of Colossi Axemen, because if I put them in the killing ground, or if I use them to go to the gate first, they can just chop up their sort of least exhausted units, and then just hold there with their bulkiness, and then the spearmen can go in, or maybe I'll have the axemen filter in behind the spearmen. It's probably a better idea. But either way, I'm going to need Ergen. Ergen's going to need a command item, so if he needs a command item, we have to build him one. And that means I need a mage who's currently not busy. I've got another level 2 priest, and she's going to move to Swinland with a few bodyguards, and she's going to be just casting spells. I'll probably put her here so she doesn't die. I don't think she'll be useful in this attack, but you never know. How many cavalry are here? 6 units there. Actually, she could go pick them up just to be extra useful. And she can sneak as well, just in case. Oh, no, she can't sneak, she's leading heavy cavalry. Let's see. I need a free fire mage, and I don't seem to have one. Take some of those goblin spearmen. I want him to move. Where do I want this guy to go? 28 goblin spearmen. It's not a great number. I might have him just sit here and patrol, and then actually boost the blood hunting in Mexico by quite a large number. Yes, let's give you one. You can be set to blood hunt as well. Gonna have 6 blood hunters in Mexico, but we have quite a large patrol force, so I'm just gonna farm the population of Mexico for some blood slaves. As you do. As you do. Bowl of blood. Let's get casting that as well. Good stuff. Right. He's entering to summon devils, just forever, basically. Until he dies of old age or something. I may... No, I don't want to build something there. I don't want him to... I'll just summon devils. He gets 3 devils in his bodyguard unit, so actually no, I want them in hold an attack and have him at the back, casting, just standing there, I guess. Yeah, just stand there. And these devils can be set to hold an attack rearmost enemies. And so, if he does get into an event or something, what will happen is the devils will draw the aggro of the enemy army, and then just as the enemy army moves towards them, they'll just fly for the back line and hopefully rout their commanders. But the devils that he summons will automatically go into this group, which is good. Now we've got quite good... Our gem income's getting really, really very good. I mean, even 4 water gems. A water gem is my my miner. I think I just got lucky. Either Syria found some... I know there was a mercury pond in Swinland, so we're actually going to have 6 water gems per month. You're even getting 2 astral pearls from this throne. And 1 death gem from this site here. So yeah, we have a really good gem income. A lot of variety. So we need to make use of it. Or we will be able to make use of it once my wizards are not busy, you know, fighting wars, when they're actually able to use up those gems to craft and such. So we will be doing that soon. I think this is the strategy for this turn, though. We need to reconsolidate the army on Syria. Belmar having been captured, we're going to move to block their army in Kolomogor, and we're going to start invading the depths with my dragon god. And Anfar, my incredibly inspirational high leadership commander. So we're going to do that. Nowhere to spend the rest of the gold, so yep. That's the turn. Oh, I have a scout. I have 1 scout who needs to be... So I think we can safely assume there's a war going on between Farwold and Lunawatia. I think we can assume that safely. So we shouldn't need to worry about Lunawatia bothering with the ocean realm for very much. I think they're busy on land, so that's good. Right, let's end the turn. Mid-invasion. It's when Dominions starts to get really interesting. Middle of an interesting war. Augury didn't find anything. Blood Bowl didn't find anything. Let's keep going. I'll stop when I see a new magic site. No magic sites. We found 21 blood slaves in Mexico. 6 blood hunters did not increase the unrest at all. So what we're going to do again is grab all of these spare researchers here and have them craft some sanguine dowsing rods for us. Because I may need more blood hunters in the future. So they shall do that. Now, what else have we got? There was a battle in Kolomogor, a battle in Umbor, a battle in Belmar, and a battle in Swinland. So, I know the Swinland and probably the Belmar battles are quite small, so we'll take a look at them first, but these two could be quite large. These battles could be quite large. I could be getting it wrong, Swinland. If the Cyclops move to Swinland, this will be bad. But we'll have a look in a moment. Numecria. Some unnecessary laws have been abolished. +3 turmoil, +10 unrest. Well, hey, some unnecessary laws, like, you know, law itself, has been abolished. And the goblins going wild and probably destroying everything. So yeah, maybe they made some stupid law like goblins weren't allowed outside at midnight, and they got rid of that. And now the goblins are going crazy at night. Who knows? Who knows what stupid unnecessary laws my goblins came up with? Probably something dumb. And we have an unexpected event in Golem Range. A treasure has been found! So much treasure! 537 gold, 1 fire gem, 4 air gems, 3 water gems, 3 earth gems, and an enormous cauldron of broth, which is very good. That's 15 nature gems. And it's a useful magic item, like, I'd never ever think of anyone bashing this item. The only time this item would not be useful is if you were playing a fully undead team and yeah, you didn't need it because all your units were undead and didn't need supplies. Then this would be pretty useless. But in a multiplayer game, you could trade it to someone. So, or you could use it to say you have a death dominion in an undead realm. You can give it to a commander, and then he can lead around 120 independents, like random independent humans that you recruit, and they won't starve, even if you have no population in any of your provinces, because he'll be carrying this. So yeah, there are uses for it, even on a team which doesn't need supplies. So it's a good item. It's a good item. So good events. Good events. Well, I mean, this doesn't really matter. I already have turmoil in my lands, so the unrest is kind of annoying, but not really. It's only 10. And I have a lot of province defense on that throne, so it should go down pretty quickly. We discovered a scout in Sinextro. It was a scout of Syria, so not a big surprise we found one there. We have started to destroy the gate at the fort in Syria. So they don't have enough men to guard the walls now. We do have too many men for them to hold us back. We killed some brigands. My troops in Kolamagor are starting to starve due to lack of supplies. Now that's a bit of a spoiler, because it means we won Kolamagor. Whatever battle happened here, we did win. So, but I'm going to go through them backwards because I feel that Swinland shouldn't be too big of a battle. It was my commander and his heavy they did take the Cyclops here. Now heavy cavalry is surprisingly tough with those light lancers, and light lancers don't break. So, I mean, it's just a charge bonus for first strike, but they have nothing to swap to, so is that a charge bonus to the first strike made against each squad, or just their first strike in the battle? I'm not sure. But either way, weak province defense, so as long as we fatigue the Cyclops out, and these heavy cavalry have quite decent defense skill, so they might actually be able to just hold him in place for long enough to fatigue him and actually kill him, which would be amazing. Oh, no, he routed them with his fear. He only has fear 5 as well, which is like, we lost no units. They must have just made a terrible, Oh, why did the commander retreat? That's very strange. Did the commander take a hit? The commander didn't even take a hit, he just decided he didn't want enough. You're useless, you are. You're rubbish. I'm not going to trust you to command my armies. You're terrible. Belmar. Syria counterattacked, but it wasn't with the Cyclops, so I don't know what with. A very small force. Oh, an adept of the Iron Order, but he's lost both. He's lost both his arms. But he's a wizard, so he doesn't need arms. He can. How is he wearing magic braces if he has no arms? Please explain. Has he attached them to his feet or something? To his shins? Oh, that's going to be a bit of a Dominions meme. Dominions meme, wizard lost both his arms, can still equip braces of protection. Oh dear, that's quite funny. Anyway, okay, this Scorpion's not actually that... It's lost one of its pincers, and it's weakened. Although it did get Iron Skin, it got Earthmite cast on it, so it has quite a lot of strength. My goblins might not win this. They are combusting my goblins. We might be able to kill the Scorpion though. They did do a lot of damage to it. Let's speed this up a little bit. Yeah, we seem to be doing alright against the slaves. And I think they missed their Earth Meld, and they Earth Melded one of their own mechanical men, which is quite funny. And their wizards don't seem to be hitting very often, which is good. There's only one mechanical man left. Yeah, we should be fine. Yes, go my goblins. Rout their small force. Oh, and this guy's fallen unconscious, so we can just run over and stab him. Yes, stab the Iron Wizard. He's got no arms. He also has a limp now as well. Oh wow, he's hard to kill. Oh, he's got 21 protection. He cast Iron Skin on himself. Well, it didn't help. We got him in the end. So yes, Belmar. It was a tiny force, and we managed to actually kill quite an expensive wizard as well. He might be a mercenary, in fact. So yes, got him. We got him though. We got them. Now, the battle in Umbor. This was the battle heading into the Underdark, or into the depths of the world of Volanus. There's a lot of Scorpions there, but Prison of Fire just hit, and it did catch one of the Scorpions. They are fire resistant though, so I don't know how useful prison... Ah, that's better. Prison of fire on the ghouls. Yes, you can see they're taking fire damage whilst they try and break out of it. We're not doing very much damage. Yeah, they have 18 protection. They're slightly higher protection than most of their slave infantry. I'm gonna put the speed up slightly. Hopefully we do alright. I mean, the sacred units generally have very high morale, so we should fight to the last goblin. These scorpions are pretty beefy, though. I wonder if we can rout them soon. I mean, they are slave infantry, so they have very, very low morale. And Solve can always just, yes, he can just, like, jump into their army and start just burning them, yes. Scorpions not being resistant to fire, especially magical dragon fire. Yes, Solve is quite quickly dispatching them once he enters the fray. And we did sustain some sacred casualties, but I believe pushing Syria out of the depths soon is going to be good. We don't want to make the war prolonged by allowing them the Underdark to rebuild. We want to take that as well. Their side. Oh, Solve! Those are your loyal followers, and you just burnt like 20 of them. You were probably the one that killed the most in the battle. Oh, Solve. Oh, you are a merciless god of a blood dragon nation. So, and he's a fire dragon, but we could give him some blood magic. Actually, did I give him some blood magic? I swear I empowered him. I may have not. I might have decided not to do that after all. But anyway, yes, we did win the battle, but we lost a bunch of sacreds thanks to Solve burning half of them there. But we did win, so that's good. Kola-Magor. Let's see how this battle went. Now, the Cyclops wasn't here, but they might have moved a lot of their undead here. No, they didn't. It's a very tiny force. So we're going to trap them in the Underdark now with my dragon on one side and this army on the other. And we can just siege Syria at our leisure because their god isn't even around to protect their capital. So yes, we just smashed that small force there. Yes, we did manage to kill a priest. That's probably the only important thing we killed there. But again, not very difficult. They are starving though. We don't have enough supplies here, which is pretty bad. I'm going to have to split the force up this turn. So those were all the battles. This force, we could just take the throne and my god could claim it, and I could start building a castle here. So I think that is the plan. Oh, well, cavemen. Well, I have to put 4 province defense to get 1 caveman. You can have the commander and that's it. You can have a single goblin, 1 single goblin to protect the pass into my realm. He just kind of sits there and watches and waits in case someone decides to attack us, and then he goes, oh crap. Oh, I should tell someone. Right, let's have a look-see. We have Belmar. I could start recruiting some units in Belmar actually. Ah, cheap archers. They're about almost as cheap as my goblin archers. They wear worse armor and have worse attack and defense skills, so actually I think I actually prefer goblin archers to these ones. Now normally these are very good archers because they are only 4 resources. They wear very weak gear, but I mean they're archers, you don't really want them to, they don't need strong gear if your frontline holds, so they're very easily massable, but my goblin archers are even more massable, so I'll take the goblin archer. And they take up less space on the battlefield, so I can put more of them out there and it's less of a problem. I mean, one rain of stones would probably kill my entire goblin army, except my skirmishers, because they're the only ones with nice hats. But yeah, I think my goblin archers are preferable. On that, I might train some to reinforce the force. Yeah, more heavy cavalry. Keep gathering the force up. I will split the force up though. I think that is the correct idea. So I've got these 2 commanders here, so they can just slightly bulk that out. Oh, give it to the commander, give it to that commander, yes. I think what I'm going to do is Oak Strong is going to move it into Swinland to support this army, and this main force here, I do need to split off some of it, but not all of it. So I'm going to get the mercenaries to try and take these long deads out. And they're going to be supported by Mammal. and my profit, because my I need the profit for the sacred units. What do you have, Islatos? What's your force? Your force is all the ragtag units, so yes, I think I will have you go as well. So they're both going. They're going to take Runia. My 2 Goblin commanders and Tenthredon are going to hold Kolomagor. Oh, they have a very tiny population, so yes, we're not going to be putting. I think the Dominion of the Dustwalkers has population kill. I think it kills population naturally. So even though they have growth Dominion, I think it's still killing off their people. Although their capital has a lot of people, so maybe I'm just wrong. Either way, I can only put a province defense of 5, so I'm going to have to rely on the army to actually win any fights that show up here. Which shouldn't be a problem. Should not be a problem. In fact, actually, I might spend the gold to build a temple here, just to get my dominions to start spreading in this location, and pushing into the underground. That might be a good plan. I think I will do that. You were forging more bags of endless wine. You were casting. You must be casting Bowl of Blood, which means all of my Bowl of Blood casters are going to be free again. Yeah, I got a new scout as well. Let's recruit another scout. 10 more sacreds. I need to keep getting the sacreds. They're pretty good. We did just lose quite a lot of them, so I need to make sure I keep getting them. You're casting Bowl of Blood still. You're still casting Bowl of Blood. You guys were site searching, but I don't know where else you have left to site search there. I mean, you could start site searching down here. That's probably the most useful. Yeah, that is the last 2 places I really need you to go. In fact, you 2 can go here and search there. So I can get these both these sites finished searching. I would have got most of my kingdom then, and then they can probably move back to just start doing research and crafting and things. Still no unrest in Mexico. How many blood slaves did we get? Oh, we got 21, didn't we? Yeah. Still no unrest. Wow. It's good stuff. Focusing on the construction research, which is good. I'm just wondering where I have labs and if I can get a small force to pick up the cauldron of the enormous cauldron of broth and just bring it to the army and call them a gore. Right, I'm going to get my gnome now to cast gnome law just across my entire empire for the rest of the. I mean, he can't. He's a gnome. He lives to the age of 100. So yeah, he can just cast gnome law forever, pretty much. They have a huge force here. Quite a sizable force, and Emilzar's moved most of its men away from Kunal, so I'm not sure what they're doing. They're sort of flitting around the borders. I'm not quite sure what to make of it. It's a bit scary, really. I actually have no more commanders that need anything to do, so that means I very badly need to recruit some more wizards with all this gold. So I want to start having in every province which has the temple and the temple lab mix-up, so like Nom, I would like to have one of these Sun Pontifexes ready to lead a more powerful communion if possible. So I'm going to train one in I already have one here. Where else could I do with one? Saltnoham has a Pontifex, but he's casting Augury all the time, so I'm going to recruit another one in Saltnoham. It means I don't get to recruit one more Sacred, but I could always recruit some archers to just fill that out. Or maybe keep on bulking up Golem range. I think I'll get some more Colossi Axemen with what gold I have. And mercenaries. Oh, I do only have 1 turn left on my mercenaries, and I would like to get them. At least get Mamor. I might have to only train the 1 Pontifex. No, I think I'll just cut down on the Sacreds. 84 gold. I think 84 gold will be a fine bid. I don't think anyone's going to bid that much on. And 84 gold is not very much for a level 5 wizard with these mage gems. He's useful for site searching even after this war's over, but his magic paths make him particularly useful against fighting the Syrians. So I think he's worth the gold. He's worth the gold. And it's a small part of my income, really, when I think about it. It's a small part. This siege is ongoing. Let's sort the army out, because it is a bit of a mess right now. And if they decide to sally forth, I don't want them to attack like this, because it would be atrocious and nothing would work. It would all go terribly wrong. So let's get all of these heavy cavalry together. I'm going to need a new commander. Enyalios, you can have all of the heavy cavalry that you can manage, which is all of them. And you can take all of the random spim and such. Maybe not. Maybe I'll have Aramas. Aramas, you can take all the random spim. Excellent. Right. Form a line. Right there. Hold an attack. No, in fact, I want them further back. And I would like my sacreds where I want them in front of the communion. Like so. I want the archers out front. And the heavy cavalry, I'm going to split into 2 squads. And I want one of them out front. Ready to lance any enemy infantry. And I'm going to have one on the flanks here, and have them on hold and attack rearmost. So it's an interesting setup, but I think it should work. I want the cavalry to be the screen, because my random infantry, this is more for the field battle. I need the infantry for the siege. The cavalry are going to block the gate up too much, and after they get their first lance attack off, they're not the kind of heavy cavalry with morning stars. They just have light lancers, which means they're not actually going to be able to push through the gate very well. So I'd rather have my colossi in the gate. Their damage on average will be higher. So, well, preferably I'd rather just be able to walk through the gate after my wizards banish all of their undead. But we all know that's not going to be that easy. So yes, although their god's not there, their god not being there does make things less complicated. But I have no idea how many wizards they have in here. Because we do know that they've moved a few wizards out with their armies, but they've all managed to retreat from the battles, more or less. So we could be facing quite heavy magical resistance. Right, I think we can end the turn there. Yes. Where am I actually bidding for the... I don't think it matters where I bid for him, because he's already under my control. So it just means he'll stay with the force that he is in. I think it should be fine like that. Hopefully all the Vati mercenaries are now going to die in this battle that I've just launched on Runia. I mean, not hopefully they all die, I mean, but I don't mind if they do. No magic sites. We captured 4 blood slaves in Epernia. There's no unrest, so 4 blood slaves is better than no blood slaves. And we captured 32 in Mexico, and there's only 6 unrest, so they're going to keep doing that. They are going to keep... In fact, this commander, yeah, he is patrolling, so... Yep, they're going to keep, they're just going to keep blood hunting like crazy. I'm just going mad. An unexpected event has occurred in Sinextro. Another Earth Gnome, who I'm not going to empower with Earth Magic, because that would be silly. Because he can't wear boots. He can't wear boots. So I don't know what I'm going to do with him. I mean, he might forge me some basic Earth items that I don't need other mages to do, if he does it for them. Let's see, what else we got? An unexpected event in Kolmogor. We found 10 nature gems. Found in a grove in the forest. Some druid was growing some nature gems. It's nice. We're still destroying the gate at the fort in Syria. There was a battle in Belmar, and we're now under siege, so I'm starting to think that the Cyclops may have went to Belmar. We've killed a bunch of filthy brigands, and the Wolfkin Reavers have left us, so they must have survived the fight. Let's go through the battles. There was a battle in Umbor. Syria decided to counterattack from the throne with what men they had left. I think they are going to have a very hard time of it, though. They don't really have a significant enough force to worry me. As long as my god doesn't burn half my goblins again, we should be good. Just speed it up. We are running low on sacreds though, and my god did just manage to prison of fire most of my own sacreds. Like, why would you choose to dragon fire then? You could have just eaten him. Ugh. Oh, my god did get poisoned. He took quite a lot of damage. Those scorpions, I need to keep that in mind. Might be worth giving him a poison resistance ring. I might make one of those. Poison might be a weak spot of my god. Poison generally is pretty powerful against large pretenders that have a lot of hit points, because it will kill them throughout the battle. So you only need to hit them once, and there's a possibility they could die unexpectedly. So yeah, yeah, there was a battle in Kolamagor. So we managed to successfully defend the underground, which is good. Kolamagor they attacked us with a very small force, so there should be no problem. My archers did take one hit from the slaves. I forget, they wear no armor, so they're actually very fast. Most human units wear at least some armor, so they're a bit slower. But they managed to get up to my archer line. They got swinging, but I don't think they killed anyone. So the battle in we're going to look at Swinland and Runia first, because we know Belmar ends with a siege, so that could be quite interesting. We're attacking Runia with a fairly small force. It's the mercenaries mainly chaffing up. But we've got our wizard here casting solar rays. Mammal's getting some good kills. The man's getting like 3 undead killed per cast, like 1 or 2 sometimes. It's pretty good. And he managed to hit this wizard with oh crap, I think we might have actually managed to kill that wizard in Runia. Yes, we killed a chosen vicar, which is not bad. And the mercenaries, we lost what? We lost 2 of the mercenaries. We lost a Colossi and heavy cavalry, which is kind of annoying. I hoped the mercenaries would take more casualties, but never mind. We eliminated a small force and cleaned up some of the heretics in our lands. Heretics. Heretic Syrians. Need to remove them. Swinland. What have we got here? Swinland. This was attacking with whatever ragtag units I had left, plus Oakstrong. And Oakstrong should be enough to just lumber his way across the battlefield. But he's so slow that he actually doesn't go anywhere, and the heavy cavalry just win the fight for us. So yeah, there's Oakstrong just doing what he does, being a tree. Being a tree. He may be more useful in the siege of Syria. I may set my entire army to just guard the commander and then let Oakstrong just go in and clean up the castle on his own. I may let him do that. Otherwise, he's just being a tree right now. He's just being a tree. Just stands there, being a tree. Right, Belmar, the most important battle of this turn. And I believe it's because their god is in it. Yes, their god decided to just be a Cyclops, I suppose. He decided he wanted to be a Cyclops and take a castle on his own, so he did. Well, he hasn't actually taken the castle, he's just sieging it right now. Ooh, it'd be nice if we managed to kill this Blight Initiate, except he cast Burning Hands and killed half my goblins. So, yes. Somehow we actually managed to do quite a lot of damage to the Cyclops, which is confusing, but there we go. Yes, he is managing to damage the walls on his own, which is annoying. So, that was the turn. Let's carry on. These guys are ready to search for magic sites, and they are now finished searching magic sites forever, pretty much. Pretty much. Now, we won these 2 battles here, and we successfully defended Kolamagor, so we have actually trapped the Syrians in Belmar and Syria, if they're not already in the underground. So, I think victory is in sight. Victory is certainly in sight. I'm just going to increase the province defense a little bit. I'm going to move these units to Belmar and this sort of smaller force to Kolamagor. Now, this is pretty risky because this army, if it does have a leadership, it could actually take Kolamagor very, very quickly without any difficulties. So that is a concern of mine, but never mind. I'm going to recruit another mounted commander over here just to pick up some of the other units that got scattered, and possibly to send some more heavy cavalry to the front line. once this war's over and my income is more stable, I'll be able to start mass recruiting goblins everywhere just to fill my forces out for the next invasion of someone. So yes, we'll be looking forward to that. We're going to keep forging these endless bags of wine because they're good. They're good. I'm going to need more of them. I'm going to keep sending scouts eastbound. I want a scout in every province. On good. I want to know where their men are for this upcoming war. I'm going to get another 10 sacreds, as per usual. As often as I can, 10 sacred units. Bolster the forces. Now I have a bunch of, I think I have a bunch of wizards who are no longer casting Bowl of Blood, but apparently I do not. Because it's not telling me that I have a bunch of wizards who are not doing anything, so... I was going to use my fire gems up a bit, so we're going to create some jars of fire. All of these extra pontifexes I trained explicitly to start using up this absolutely ridiculous fire gem income. And the most useful way I can see of doing that is forging jars of fire, or fire in a jar rather. And then perhaps forging a few scepters, just a few, to give to my commanders that don't have any yet. It does allow me to field more goblins, which is always good. Now, given that I am going to attack this province, I'm going to move this scout to Underspring, because I want to see if they have a large force just hanging around here. And if they decide to move this force down, then I'd like to know how much of it they move down. So, yeah, the scout's going to move up. My god's going to move down and try and capture this throne. Probably going to build a castle here, in all honesty. Anfar probably will just stay here and build a castle. Because this province has got pretty decent resources. I imagine most of the underground, they're all caves. So they all have good resources. So we should be able to absolutely flood goblins out of the underground. Which is good, because it allows us to surprise attack this nation over here. And if I get enough water mages and I put them in Mines of Fortune, so say I focus my water mages in the Mines of Fortune, I can do an underwater invasion of the Lunawatia as well, which would be nice. Now, this siege is still continuing. However, I want any unit that can preach, I want them to preach. Because I'd like my Dominion to be there, not theirs. It's very hot right now, and my goblins will get like 5 encumbrance from being in a province that's too hot. Yeah, they're getting +2 to their encumbrance from being in a province that's too hot, which is not good. I think my sacreds avoid it because they're fire resistant, but I could be wrong. But all my other goblins are getting the severe heat penalty, so I'd rather not. My army didn't tire out. I mean, they're very lightly armoured, so it still takes a while for them to tire, but sieges can go on for excess of 20 turns, and if it lasts 20 turns, my men will start falling unconscious. I'd rather it didn't last that long. Perhaps if we made it cold, it would also make their heat magic, their fire magic, and their mages, their Abyssians as well, they would be less powerful. So an assault would be much safer if the land is cold. So we will try and make the land cold before we attack. Now I have just a scant amount of the treasury left to spend. Firewall doesn't look like a threat. This force is building up though, so I am starting to get worried about this force. And because of that, I'm going to have you not forge a fire and jar. I'm going to have you forge a Scepter of Authority to give to this Commander Ergen here. And Ergen is going to get a lot more units to guard the border. He's going to get 2 more Colossi Axemen. And then I think I'm going to give him another... Could do with bulking out this spear line for sure. But I don't want just 10 Colossi Axemen, so I'm going to give the 10 Colossi Axemen some swordsmen. And then I'm going to just spend the rest of the gold on skirmishers to try bulk out my spear line as well. So the swordsmen and the axemen are going to be combined to give my goblin front line, my spear line, a bit more of a punch once the battle engages. So these goblins will hopefully, with their longer reach weapons, repel the enemy line as they try to break through the gate of golem range if they attack. And these men can be waiting behind, perhaps to kill flying units if they fly over the walls. Otherwise, they will join the melee and fill the gaps with fresh, high damage units, which should just be able to cleave through the fatigued enemy army. So I feel that might be, even though my army is very low on its protection, I feel if you use it right, and the enemy is not I mean, so far, most of my enemies haven't had... The Atlanteans had no archers. I didn't really fight Lunawatia, and they didn't look like they had very many archers either. And Syria, they've been relying on mage firepower for ranged combat. So I haven't actually fought a nation that has powerful archers. And Emorzar doesn't appear to have decent archers. And I think Modi might be the only one that's fielding a decent number of range units. So Modi might become our first real challenge, because my goblin's going to be very weak to ranged fire. Unless I can somehow get an air mage, which obviously I have no air magic naturally. We do have Badawi though. We do have Badawi. But we have no natural air magic, which means that getting any kind of arrow fend going is going to be difficult. Will be very difficult. So, I think that's the turn. We're going to attack Belmar. I may need to just sort these units out. Yes. No, actually that's fine. I'm going to have all these goblins protect my commander. They're just going to sit there and take arrows to the face. Whilst Oakstrong runs in and starts killing them. And these units are going to back up Oakstrong. They're going to go in. You're going to go in with Oakstrong. And Oakstrong is going to attack large monsters. Oh yes, he is. He is, however, I think he's poison resistant as well. So yes, he's actually really good against all these Scorpion Riders. So Oakstrong will lead the charge. Oh, we have some men inside of Belmar's castle. That's probably why it didn't. It's probably why they didn't rout. Attack large enemy monsters. We're going for the Cyclops after all, so I want them set to large enemy monsters. Fire archers, basically, hopefully they just shoot not at the Cyclops, because they won't do anything to the Cyclops. In fact, because they're not going to do anything to the Cyclops, I'm going to have my archers just set to guard commander. And then have all of my sacreds out front ready to envelop the Cyclops. I think that's the best plan. And this small unit of ragtag, you know, cavalry and spearmen and such, they're gonna try and run out ahead of Oakstrong and just like delay the Cyclops, maybe start building his fatigue up. But they'll rout pretty quickly, I imagine. But my sacreds should be fine. They shouldn't rout very quickly against him. They have good morale. We should be casting, in fact, just to make sure, we don't need banishment. I'm going to have him spam Sermon of Courage. Spam Sermon of Courage. Oh, actually, I can have the Priestess cast Sermon of Courage twice as well. And then cast Holy Avenger, and then she can do what she wants. I'm going to have him cast Sermon of Courage once, because I have the High Priestess to do it as well. And then he's just going to cast Smite. I want him to try and smite their god. Not sure how well that's going to work, but because of that, I need these casters need to be in the sacred regiments so they can bless them. So they cast Sermon of Courage on the right unit. They will preference cast on the units that they are sitting inside of. So that's good. Right, they still haven't sallied forth. So we are just waiting for them now. This is the waiting game. We have the sieges on the go. We just have to wait for their army to make its move. So, with nothing left to do this turn, I don't think I missed anything. This has been summer, in year 4 of the Ascension Wars. So, this war is it's lasted 6 months so far. And I can tell you for certain, we are going to have a very fun next episode. We are going to have a very fun next episode, so I shan't delay this too long. It's been me, Chaff Commander Coffee. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.